Hello. So, a little while ago, it's funny, things keep coming round and around. Karl Hildon asked me, how many 1541s do you have? The answer, it was, at the time, I don't know. I still don't know. I was down in the basement, moving some stuff, because, oh, hello, Sheldon. Come on up, Sheldon. Hi. Oh, Sheldon. Okay. Sheldon. Oh, there's a fluffy cat. Yes. Hello, Sheldon. Anyway, the water meter has to be replaced, so I have to move some things, and I have found some things, including some more 1541 disk drives. More. Haven't I, Sheldon? Yes, I have. So, I suppose I need to look at them and see what's what. What do you think, Sheldon? What do you think? Should we look at the disk drive? There's a disk drive right here. Yes, I know. I know, Sheldon. Yes, I do. I know. Okay, you know what, Sheldon? I gotta look at this disk drive. Yes, you're welcome to hang around. Maybe I need to find a special place for Sheldon to sit so he can watch us. Okay. Sheldon. Those are claws. Okay, there you go. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Okay, so here we have a 1541 disk drive. It is kind of cream. They had lots of different colors and things, and a different logo, not logo, but a nameplate on the front. Anyway, this one, I don't know, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. So I'll take and plug in a serial cable into either slot, because it doesn't matter, and a power cable. Oh dear. Okay, I meant to show you the power cable, but anyway, it got away. Hello power cable. Oh. Okay, I'll just do it and see what happens. Normally, there we go. Okay, so we have power, or we don't have power. We will have power. Power is turned in. Serial cable is on. Board. Sheldon's still at my feet. I'm going to turn it on. Okay. I don't know if you can hear that. Hi, Sheldon. Yes, I see you. I'm just going to try to reset. Okay, so what we have here is a disk drive that when you turn it on, there are no LEDs. Hi, Sheldon. Sheldon, no, thank you, Sheldon. Thank you, Sheldon. Thank you for coming. There are no LEDs, and the drive just spins and spins. Nothing flashing. I'm sure if I try to send something, it'll just device not present. Okay, hey, Sheldon, don't bite the cords, please. Sheldon, thank you. I'll try, just for fun, 9, no. 10, nope. Anyway, this drive is not responsive. My guess is, and I could be wrong, but my guess is that one of the 6526 chips is no good. Now, I don't know where this drive was made. I can probably figure it out in a moment. And I don't know what version of the board it has, and I don't know. It could be a long board, it could be a short board, it could be a medium, it could be all kinds of things. It was made in Taiwan. And what does that tell me? Not really much of anything. I'm going to have to open this one up and have a look. Hi. Okay, Sheldon, let me move. Sheldon wants to be around. And he can't quite climb as well as he would like with these two disk drives where they were. Oops, we don't want them there. Okay. Oh dear God. Sheldon? Sheldon? Oh dear. I think Sheldon has found his place. Thankfully. Oh, nothing broke. Okay, Sheldon is running away now. So, I'll reset this again.
I am your father.
And I was really hoping that this would just work. But it does not. So, we take a Phillips screwdriver, and it indeed, it is a Phillips screwdriver. There's one screw. All was put on top of the 1701 monitor. There's two. Three. Oh. 3. And 4. I'm suspecting there might be a shield in here to deal with. But I don't know. Let's see. Alright. So, what we have here is not the original long board that was the entire length of the drive. We have, I don't know, maybe a 2/3 length board. Ugh. More. So, off comes the shield. Oh. It's funny, I don't know if I always need to put these back or not, but I always do. Okay. So here is the drive. The back is over here, the front is over here, and there is the board, etc., etc., etc. So, it might be time to get out some glasses and have a look. So, what we have mostly are a whole lot of little things. Resistors, little chips. But anyway, the main chips are thankfully mostly in sockets. And yes, indeed, we have a 6502 and two, sorry, they're not 6526 chips, they're 6522 chips. They are, I know you can't see them there, but they are. They're all in a row there. There's also some ROM ICs. One of them is not socketed. So, sometimes people have said it's just a good thing to push down on all the chips as a first sort of test. And indeed, I did feel a little crunchiness there. But do I believe that's really going to make any difference? No, I don't think so. No. It does exactly the same. Exactly. So, do I want to find another drive to open up? I'm not sure. I may, just over here out of sight, have a chip or two to try. Or perhaps not. Well, I'm thinking that I will look into my toolkit for my favorite chip removing screwdriver. And ever so gently. I know there are chip pullers, by the way. I've just never had as good luck with them as the slow, gentle, consistent pressure of my skilled hand and a screwdriver. Not that it always goes perfectly. This actually, I'm taking out a 6522, and sometimes you can get the legs bent and twisted and gnarled, but this seems good. 6522, Hong Kong. So, and if I remember rightly, the 6522 is also known as the CIA chips, or the something like complex interface adapters. Sounds magic. So, I should unplug the power. While I'm here, I'm also looking for any other obvious disasters in here. It's funny, I really think, or I thought, I had some of these chips handy. But I guess I don't.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
So, I'm suspecting that at this moment, anybody who is watching the screenshot of this is pretty bored. As I would be. I really thought I would be running performance tests and things, but it doesn't seem to be. So, I'm going to stick in LODE RUNNER, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, oh, look at that. It's going to show us what it would do to win. So I'll leave that on there. So, I'm going to take this fine disk drive and set it over here. And I have another one here that looks much the same, more yellowed. But I know that this one works. So, I'm going to open it up. At least I think I am. Yes. Now then, of course, I run into the question, do I take things out of this one and put them in the other, or do I take things from the other one and put them in this one? And the answer is, it depends. I'm thinking, though, having a little trouble screwing here. I think I have them out, they just don't want to come out. It's funny, I don't like leaving them like this. There are two screws sitting. I guess they're supposed to do this. Where there we go. They're undone. But they don't want to come out. There. They're out. So, we've had this drive open before because I think we've cleaned the heads. And it does have, it appears to be, I'm not sure if it's exactly the same version, but it has the same length board, which in a lot of ways is nice, but in a lot of cases, because the chips are mostly the same, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so basically, from what I can tell, this looks much the same. This one was made in Taiwan. Okay, so now, in troubleshooting, to minimize the chances of trouble, turn this on. The light comes on, the power comes on. It's all good. But of course I will turn the power off before I extract a chip. So, I took out 16522 from the other drive. Ooh. I'm going to very gently and carefully use my screwdriver. Some of these chips have been in here a long time. So you have to really baby them in and out. And I have here one that does not want to come. And I don't like to pry too much, because that is what bends the feet on the far end. So I am rocking ever so gently. Come on. Holy crap. I'm gonna, there we go. I don't like, having to stick the screwdriver too many places. But anyway, so here is 6522. Now, because I know this one works, I'm going to put it on top of the monitor with the screws. Here is 6522. I just took out the other drive. I look at it. I look for the witness mark, which should be identical to what the one I just took out is, and it is. I look at the pins. They all look good. I find that the best way for me is I line it all up on one side, ever so gently, and push on a bit of an angle, and then I look to make sure that all the little, okay, they're all in. Now, is this the chip that was broken or defective? I don't know. I had a choice of two 6522s, so I picked one. Here is the moment of perhaps truth. Now we must remember, this is the drive that works, and it still appears to be working, which means that I have probably not found the trouble. So for those of you watching LODE RUNNER, stand by for a moment. I'll just double check and see. Does the drive respond? It does respond. Good. And we'll put the most normal disk we have, the 1541 test demo disk, in. And we'll just move up the screen and try that again. Indeed, we be jamming. So that's good. We know we have a good chip there. Now, of course, the question is, do I switch that chip back, or do I just leave it? At this moment, I'm going to leave it. See, all the other chips in here, of course, the chips are from, well, they look to be from 1986. And this one as well, although it is not matching. Does that matter? Not really. But anyway, in the world of troubleshooting, I do like to power it off, to go one at a time. This one is going to be tougher, this chip. See that when there's a chip right close by that's in a socket, you can get a little better prying on it without hurting or having a chance of hurting anything. But there's this big capacitor in the way. So I'm going to go on an angle that I don't really like. And twist. Oh, ever so gently. What I'm going for is the other matching 6522 chip. And I have it, and it looks okay. So now, I think I'll put LODE RUNNER back in. So I'm going to put this tentatively up on the monitor, but not by itself. Or not, sorry, not with the other one. I will not mix them up. I'm going to take this drive. Oh dear. What have I done? Oh. Well, I've got LODE RUNNER where now it's actually thinking I'm going to play it, but I'm not. Oh well. Here. You can sit there. So now, 1541-2. No, not the 1541-2. The second 1541. I'm going to... Oh, no. There are capacitors here that must not be damaged. So once again, this has the same thing where there's a chip here that is not in a socket, and there are big capacitors that are kind of in my way. So instead of using the prying method, I'm using the twist method, which is somewhat working. So that chip will go down, because I don't know what's what. This drive will go here. This drive will go here. And I'm inspecting the legs, they look okay, so I'm going to put this one into the other drive and inspect. Okay, so this is the good drive. We're now on to chip number 2. I will turn it on. Well, so far it is seeming to be fine. So my initial thoughts on the trouble. Okay. Hang on 1 second. What did I do there? Is the shift locked down? Possibly it was. Device not present. Well, when one does not plug in the cord, it is hard to be present. Oh. Okay. So that is 2 6522 chips that are working. So that is good. So we know that we've not made anything worse here. I'm going to go for the 6502. It has a chip next door that is in a socket, so it is easier to get out. Oops. At least it should be. But you gotta remember, these chips have been pretty happy for a very long time. They've been pretty happy being in here. Aha. Okay, 6502 chip. I think I'm going to try and do this one here, because it also is in a socket, next to a chip in a socket, except the whole drive is starting to slide. Okay, 6502 chip. Got a little tweak on that foot. And that one. Oh! Okay. Must be very gentle when tweaking these pins. They've been here a long time. And I have a bit of a wow. Wow. Okay. So, 6502 chip, look at the witness mark, yeah. Make sure that everything looks okay. And my gut tells me it's not going to be this one. I don't know why. So it's in, check the feet, turn on the drive, turn on the drive. And sorry, LODE Runner fans. So far. We're good. So, of the available chips in sockets, we're now down to 2 ROMs. These chips are a little shorter. The one I'm taking out first, boy, it is stiff. The other thing I'm always very wary of is, of course, damaging a trace on the board. So very delicate. Okay, so this is a 901229-05, made in 1983 by Commodore in Hong Kong. So this is one of the ROM chips. They are much shorter. They're, I think, 24. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 24 pins. I'm going to put that down there. And I'm going to go harvesting. Maybe I'll bring this here. I know you can't see it, but oh, now this chip is next to a chip that's in a socket, but there's no chip here. So, do I put one in, or do I do the twist? In this case, I do the twist. Now, on this board, there are green little capacitors at the end of every chip. I do not want to hurt them. I've never hurt one, but I just don't think I would ever want to. So, look at the witness mark, pop this in, turn on the drive. It appears to be fine. I dropped my chip puller screwdriver. So, we've changed 4 chips, and nothing so far has made the drive fail the way the original drive has failed. So I think we're going to try this last major component, which is another ROM chip. Okay, and its numbers do, yeah, 325302-01. Wow. Both of these were made in 1981. Both of them in Hong Kong. Looks like very close. Could have been brothers. Okay, so we got a little tweak on this pin. And if this is not what's going on, I will be confused. So, do the pins look okay? Pins look okay. Turn it on. Well, isn't that interesting? The drive came up fine. And I'm just looking at LODE Runner here. Wow, it looks like I'm going to oh, I think he died. Well, he stopped. Okay, so just to make sure that we're still okay with the drive, and it seems we are. We are. So, So we have changed two 6522 chips, the 6502, the two ROM chips, and the drive comes up and performs quite joyfully. So what does this mean? Well, I'm just looking over the connectors, and they're all plugged in okay. On all of these drives, there's the drive, there's the board, and then along the side are these connectors, the read-write head and everything else to do with making the drive and the board talk to each other. And the power connectors here comes from the power supply. So, at this moment in time, I have, from what I can tell, 5 good chips. And everything's been transplanted in here, and everything here works. Another way to sometimes get an indication if something is not happy is if it gets really hot. And these all seem fine. So, I think what I'm going to do is look for my, this is the desk that I test things with. I'm not, well, I could run the performance test, because it could be that one of the, sorry LODE RUNNER people, that one of the chips could be defective and somehow something could not work on this, but I don't believe it. So I'm going to move up, do performance test, .8 colon. And I'm going to run. And I am going to insert a scratch disk. Remembering, of course, that the scratch disk is a disk that, whether it has anything or not, we don't care if it gets scratched. Scratched means reformatted, redone, back to start. So, I have one, and now it is going to run the performance test, where it formats the disk, and then reads and writes and does all kinds of magical things, which, if you're watching the screen version, you can see. It says it takes about 80 seconds. I think it takes longer. But you can listen to the stepper motor step. Now, if this all works fine, as it may in fact work fine, then there could be something wrong with the actual disk. Like, there is a little circuit board on the actual, on the disk drive mechanism. There could be something wrong there. It could go down to some things. Well, it could be a power problem. Could be all kinds of things. There comes a time when you just say, oh well, you find out what you got that's working. And if it's going to get too testy, then you say, oh well, save what you can. Put the rest carefully in the box to be saved so you can torment yourself over it later. So, we have passed the mechanical test. We have opening a file. We are writing. I'm sure this is going to be fine. But I don't know for sure. Anyway, at least I know we have chips that are good. So right now, this entire chip set, as they like, ooh, the chip set, is fine. Okay, so reading, writing, we are reading is from the other drive, and it all seems to be good. So in itself, that's a good thing to know, that I have now in front of me 5 other chips that came out of this drive that are all fine, and they're all good. So, okay, so it's opened a file, it's written to a file, it's closed a file, it's opened a file, it's reading, and it's scratched a file, and now it's going from track 35 to 1 to 35 to 1, and it's going to pop up and say that this has passed the performance test. Isn't that magical? And when we look at the directory, we will find that it's a test disk. So, I'm going to type in new, because I want to get rid of all this. I think what I'm going to do is write a little program. Oops. We'll start with line 10 and we'll say open 15, 8, 15, quote, I0. This initializes, so when I type in run, it just forces it to say, yo, okay, there's a disk. And of course I open a file, so I must close a file. Does this hurt anything? No. This is the little this is the secret command that on occasion, when a drive is not working, can force it to go head bang and suddenly it comes back to life. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, this drive is happy. So now, I'm going to do another thing. I'm going to put in 15, 8, 15, quote, N0, quote. Sorry, not quote, colon. And I call it Dave Bradley. But then I have to put a number. So I'll put in, or an ID, sorry, it can be a number, it can be letters, it just has to be 2. I'm going to put in 99, I'm going to close 15. So now when I list, I open and initialize, and I close, and then I open, and I new the disk. When you new a disk, that's it. It wipes it out. So, then I'm going to do more. I'll clear the screen, start crash. Okay, so we're going to initialize, we're going to new, and then in 30 we're going to say for I equals 1, 2, 250,000. Next I. And what does this do? It forces the machine to count from 1 to 250,000. Basically, it's a time delay. Because I want to test this drive, but I don't want to torture it. So I'll give it a time to rest. That will be, I'm not sure for how long, but anyway, it'll test it. And then it'll let it rest. And then, what am I going to do? I'm going to put in a line 5. And I'm going to put in a question mark with a quote, which means print. And I'm going to tell it to clear the screen. So the screen will clear. And then, what am I going to do? Maybe I'm going to put in 40. J equals J plus, oops, I shouldn't have shifted, plus 1 print J. And then in 50, I'm going to say go to 10. So it's going to clear the screen, initialize the disk, format the disk, count from 1 to 250,000. It's going to tell me when I get back how many times it's done this, because there will be a line of J's on the screen. And then when it's all done counting and telling me how many, it's going to go back to 10, where it's going to initialize, and it's going to format again. So in other words, we're going to torture the drive. So I'm going to type run. Oh, you know what? I'm going to put in another thing. Print quote torture test. Which actually may not be the best place to put that, because it's going to print it each time. Maybe I'll change it to torture test again. So when I go down here and type run, it should torture. So it is now newing the disk, and it will keep doing that for a while, and then we will see. So you can hear the head doing its thing. I think what we're going to do here is let this run through once. I guess another thing some people might call this is a burn-in test. I cannot imagine that any of the chips here were the problem in the other drive, because the other one just, from a dead, cold start, probably not being plugged in for 15 years, it just didn't work. But you never know, you know. It is what it is. So this is going to be formatting. I can see the stepper motor is stepping the head ever so nicely. And then it will finish. And then it will count to 250,000. It looks okay. So now it is in the process of counting. And how long will that take? I don't know. Anyway, so we will continue on this disk drive another time, and we'll see what it is that is really wrong. So, for the moment, I leave you, be at peace. I shall return.